I lost everything, my career in the valley, my fiancée, and my freedom because of my college bro. But he didn't know about the dead man switch. This is the story of how my best friend, let's call him Tyler, and the woman I bought a Tiffany ring for, Jessica, sold me out for stock options and a corner office. And how I used federal law to destroy them live on air in front of Wall Street investors. Tyler and I met in the dorms at UC Berkeley. I was the nerd coder. He was the frat guy who could talk his way into anything. It was the perfect startup scheme. I was the brains as CTO. He was the face as CEO. 2 years ago, we were headhunted by a unicorn company in San Francisco to develop Project Orion, a cybersecurity system for Federal Reserve banks. Jessica was the HR director in the same tower downtown. We lived in a penthouse in Soma,